90% of consumers read online reviews before visiting a business. What do people see when they look you up online? We give you the tools you need to take control of your reputation. Send surveys to your customers via text message with Testimonial Collector. Get 5-star reviews on all the major platforms like Google, Yelp, and more. Track what people are saying about your business with Reputation Manager. Respond to comments and turn negative reviews into happy customers. See what your competitors' customers are saying about them with Competition Tracker. Learn great marketing tactics and what it takes to stay on top. A bigger social presence means more connections. Automatically generate and schedule engaging social media posts with Social 365. Build trust, boost sales, and grow your business.
What is up? It is Thursday, and okay, I just want to kind of get past the whole housekeeping and introduction because I'm kind of I'm like really excited about who I have on the show. So you're tuning into another day in the life of an entrepreneur. It's the Entrepreneur Life Show, and for everybody who is an entrepreneur, there's so many different types of entrepreneurial people that we have out there. God, I love my guests. Let me tell you, I can never say enough. I have the best PR agents, the best publicists, because they bring me such good people. It's like I need to pay them. I mean, I don't want to pay them, but I'm just saying. But anyway, you're tuning into another day in life of an Entrepreneur Life Show where we stream live on Thursdays, sometimes other days, but mostly Thursdays on about 19 different platforms, social platforms live. So if you are on one of your very favorite social apps, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, whatever that is, Instagram, LinkedIn, we are streaming live, and you can download on one of your favorite podcasts, whether that be, iHeart or Amazon or whatever that is. Just make sure you check us out. Go to the entrepreneurlifeshow.com. You will see all the upcoming guests that we have coming up, their bio, how to connect with them, as well as our past guests that we have had on the show, but they are also talented. And you can see me. And I want to get our housekeeping out of the way. I always want to say thanks to my number one, who has always been very supportive of me, Marketing Out the Box, our sponsor. So if you want to grow your business and beat the competition, check out and go to iwantmorecustomersnow.com. You can also go to the website, click on the link, and connect with Sean Maddox, as well as our new sponsor, Spin Wax Radio, which they are going to be launching soon. Always looking for talent, worldwide exposure in any genre. Make sure you go to spinwaxradio.com. You can also go to the website, entrepreneurlifeshow.com, click on the link, and check them out, as well as our new sponsor, Black Unicorn Factory. You can check them all out also. So this is where you can use social media to follow and earn equity. That's blackunicornfactory.com. And I'm always promoting other people, but I forgot. As you know, I'm also a business owner. I am in the accounting industry. And if you look right up there in the corner, you will see that I have a guide for startups. Go to my website, which is mcdonald-bookkeeping.com, and check out the book. It helps for all startups and how to start a business. A lot of great advice, a lot of guidance. So let's get to the guest for today. Man, she can sing. I can't even say sing. She can sing. When I got her bio and then I went to her website, and let me tell you, I was listening to all this stuff, went to the YouTube channel, I have Spotify, went to the Spotify. She has such an amazing voice. It's like, one of those voices like Aretha Franklin, like Kiki White. It's like, people can sing. There's people who can sing, and then there's people who can sing. It's like, their voice everywhere. It's like some people sound the same, but her voice is like, it stands out. And to me, vocals that stand out to me are Aretha Franklin. Kiki stands out to me. Jennifer Hudson. This is a voice that stands out that you remember. Like a good piece of chocolate cake. So anyway, we are. I have her as a guest today. You may have seen her on, heard her voice on Dancing with the Stars, as well as she was on The Voice. She's best known for that song. Now, I can't sing, but you have to know. It's like a Whitney Houston song. If you can't sing, if you don't have the vocals for this, don't sing it. And where you're like, I got a spell on you. I can't sing it, but she sang it really good. I'm just saying. But that you got to have the pitch. You got to have the lungs. So anyway, so I'm excited. And this is Beth Griffin. I'm bringing her on the show. She has done so much. We're going to talk about who she has done backup singing for, who she is helping now, and she's working with. So let's bring her on the show. I'm just kind of rushing through it because I just want you guys to meet her because I'm excited. I'm excited about meeting her. So let's get her on the show. Hi, Beth.
Hi. How are you?
I am wonderful, and let me tell you something. I am really happy to have you on the show because I really did look at everything. You can sing. You can sing. And there's a difference between singing and singing, and I don't want the Beehive to come after me because I like Beyonce. I think she's wonderful. But there's people who can entertain, and Beehive, don't get mad. I'm just saying, there's people who need all that stage and all the dancing because they're singing, they sing. They don't sing. So I'm just saying, to me, that's my personal opinion.
I love your opinion.
So what I wanted to kind of start off by saying, because I was so impressed by your resume, and that you were already doing background vocals and still are, and so and it was exciting to see that. And I love it, Anita Baker. If you don't love her today, something wrong with you. And so I know you were doing background for her, right?
I did. For probably about 5 years, I toured with her, and it was an incredible experience. It was life-changing. It was a learning and a growth experience for me. I'm forever grateful. I will forever be grateful for the opportunity to work with her. So yes, I toured with her probably 2007. Mm-hmm. I started with her in 2007, and approximately 5 years after that, and so it was great.
Why singing? Tell about kind of like your growing up in, because there's a point when you can really sing, and then there's people who think they can sing, and then people start telling you, have you ever thought of singing? Tell us like your journey and how that you decided that to be your profession.
Well, I always loved music. I was brought up in a home with music. My father was a piano player, keyboard player, and played with the Funk Brothers. So there was always music playing in my home, and but I was never pushed to be a singer or pushed to be a musician, but there was always music in my life. I was in a choir, took band in school. It just was a natural thing for me, a natural progression for me to sing after I kind of just, got a little bit older, started picking the artists that I liked and started listening to music. And I had a teacher, two teachers actually, that kind of nurtured my voice and helped me develop my voice when I was in junior high. So that was Cheryl Valentine, worked with me in junior high, and she sent me to Mumford High School where I worked with Deidre Jackson Thompson, and they kind of nurtured my voice and helped me start to find my voice. So when I got out of high school, it was just natural for me to get in a band and start gigging and doing all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I just loved it.
How did you even connect with Anita Baker? How did that, because you're working with some really great artists, and you're currently working with other artists. How did that even come into fruition?
Well, first, I started gigging around the metropolitan Detroit area, and I wanted to submerge myself with music and be in a music environment. So I got a job as a receptionist at a recording studio that Michael J. Powell happened to work out of. Mm-hmm. And Mike Powell started Chapter 8, which was the group that kind of introduced Anita Baker to the world. So he found me in there, and I started doing things with him, working with him. He put me on a couple projects. One of them was Yolanda Adams, her Christmas album. I think she's only done like one Christmas album, so I was on there. I was able to do background for probably about 5 songs on that album, which was an amazing opportunity. And from there, he took me to Anita, because I told him, I said, I want to do background for artists. I don't really want to be solo artist, but I want to just do background. Because I was too afraid to be a solo artist and be up front and have all that pressure. So I just want to do background. So he took me to 2 amazing artists. He walked me right up to Aretha Franklin.
Oh wow! I would have been nervous. Like what?
I was. Unbeknownst to me, though, Aretha Franklin knew my dad, because my dad was so my father was actually Aretha Franklin's first touring keyboard player. So he already knew her. And Mike was thinking, okay, you know her dad, but she didn't feel like I had enough experience to go on the road. So she passed on me, said, she's not ready. Okay, fine. So then he takes me to Anita Baker, So you can't go wrong with those two. And Anita said, okay, come out on the road with me. And that working with her changed my life. And I stayed with her working. So Mike Powell is the person who started that. It was just a matter of me strategically placing myself in a place where I could meet people and interact and kind of tell people what I wanted. And that's what happened.
Oh my, let me tell you, you started off with some really good artists.
Anita was my first major tour. Like, who goes on their first tour with an 8-time Grammy Award? Like that was my first thing, and I was just like, oh my God, I get to work with Anita, so that's how that happened.
And I know that currently you're also working alongside and doing some vocal work with Najee and him, and so how did that happen? How did you meet them?
So this past summer, I got a chance to do multiple dates with Najee, which was just a dream. And then I've been doing background with Kim for about 9 years, actually. So, because after I stopped working with Anita, I met Kim and then started working with him. So that's who I've been with ongoing. But, scheduling and all that kind of stuff happens, and sometimes artists take time off. And so it worked perfectly because Kim wasn't touring that much this year. So I was able to work with Najee. And how I met Najee, I had been working with a extraordinary bass player named Al Turner. And Al Turner happens to be the bass player for Kim. So I already knew him. Yeah. And he works with Earl Klugh. So Earl Klugh has this jazz weekend that he does every year. Al Turner invited me to come sing with his band. And on the way home one morning, this is a crazy story, one morning, probably about 4 or 5 a.m., I get in the car to go to the airport, and in the car is Najee sitting there. And I'm thinking, they have me in the wrong car. You possibly don't have me, old singer, you don't have me in the car with superstar Najee. And we get in, they're like, yeah, we have you on the manifest. You two are riding to the airport together. And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm sitting in the back seat just sweating and nervous. I'm like, I cannot believe Najee next to me. This is crazy. I know this is a mistake, but thank you, Jesus. I'm just So I'm sitting there, and we just started talking, and I said, if you ever come to Detroit, you ever need a singer, would you please consider me? And I gave him my CD. We started talking, and then we get a flat tire on the highway at 5 in the morning, right? And Najee tells me, he said, the one thing is for sure, I'll never forget you, because this is crazy. So we get the tire fixed, we get to the airport, and several months later, he came to Detroit and he called. And so we have just maintained a relationship since then. So when he comes to Detroit, thankfully he calls me to perform with him. And then this year, he took me out on the road with him. So we'll see what 2020 has.
Oh my, you got some stories. Yes. And how you meet people, it's all just like, oh yeah, just got introduced, some coincidences.
It was crazy. I literally was sitting in the car like, oh, this is crazy. But yeah, it was good crazy. So that has allowed me to grow and to expand into the smooth jazz market, which I absolutely love.
And I did see on your website, and I actually saw where you were on stage, and it had a jazz concert, and you also did something for, I think it was for Motown.
Yes, yes. So with my father working, having worked with Motown and being a funk brother, Motown celebrated their 60th anniversary, and I was able to do and open the show with my boss Kim. So we did a duet of "Ain't No Mountain High Enough."
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of.
I love that. So how did you know that when you wanted to go solo, that you were ready to say, you know what, I can do this. I'm ready, because that's hard.
It's very hard, and I still question myself every day. So it's one of these things where you love what you do, but there's a lot of pressure that comes along with it. Mm-hmm. And I am one of these type of people that I can go with the flow. I'm flexible, and I trust the process, even when the process is uncomfortable. And I've had some very uncomfortable situations, but I have persevered and pushed through, and they have actually worked out to strengthen me and make me better. You know, I know that if I had someone like Mike Powell, who's produced Anita Baker, who's produced Gladys Knight, who's produced Aretha Franklin, who's produced Olita Adams, if he came to me and felt that I was worthy to become a solo artist with his blessing and to push me and to mentor me, which he still does to this day. I mean, I actually just talked to him yesterday. You know, I took his advice and I said, let me try. And, you know, if you've heard my album, he gifted me to do the remake of "I Just Want to Be Your Girl" that Chapter 8 did. So he produced that song, he wrote that song, he took me in the studio, he coached me, and he believed in me so much that he wanted me to remake that song that Anita had originally done, and I was shaking in my boots, but I did it.
No, I actually listened to that too, and I like that cover.
Thank you. Well, that's Michael J. Powell, the writer and producer.
Really nice. So, I mean, so when it comes to genres, are you specific to one specific type of genre, or have you entertained other areas in the music and singing?
I love music. If you handed me a country song, I would sing. If you sent me something that was folk, if you sent me something pop, if you sent me something R&B, smooth jazz, you know, I would try. I would love to, you know, spread my wings and diversify and do as much as I possibly can. I just love music. I love the storytelling of it and the joy that it brings people when they hear something that they like.
So when you said funky, let me see. I hope you don't mind. I want to put the video up because your Got Next is so funky. I mean, let me tell you, this is like, I don't care if you're driving, whatever, you just want to start moving, and like it needs to be in the club. I'm not even just saying because you're on the show. I was like, dang, this is funky. I was like, you know, it's funky with the I'm like, this is okay. So let me bring it up if you don't mind. I just want to put it on the screen so people can hear it. It's funky, y'all. So if you guys who are listening on the podcast, I mean, if you just jump in on the interview or the replay so you can see it, go to her website, which I have in the chat. But let me tell you, this is funky.
I got this funk from my dad. Baby, I'ma stand up on it.
This makes you want to dance.
A legacy left for me. Baby, I'ma walk up on it. 'Cause I know what I gotta do. They may be on right now, but somehow, trust me, I got next. They may be on right now, but somehow, trust me, I got next. Once I put this shit on lock, don't try to take it away. Because you're gonna lose. You think I'm soft when I'm not. Don't you underestimate. 'Cause you're gonna be a fool. They may be on right now, but somehow, trust me, I got next.
Okay, I just had to share that because that is funky. Let me tell you. And you got so much attitude. Like, you got I mean, you know, your body and then your facial expression. I'm like, oh, she is just like, You singing that song. You feel that song right there. That's hot.
I had so much fun. I had so much fun with my producer, Marcus Devine, who produced that track for me. I love West Coast rap. I love rap. I love hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it. And it was just so much fun. And I loved working with Swifty McVeigh from D12. He came and just added the cherry on top of the record. And I just had a ball. That's just another side of me, because when you hear my music that is out, you know, you hear the ballads and, you know, pop hits, you know, Good Girl. And there's another side. And so that's my other side. And I had a lot of fun being able to, you know, work with a rapper. You know, that was fun. Because in my mind, I'm a rapper. You know, in my mind, I'm hip-hop. So, and I'm really not, but I love it. So I had a lot of fun doing it. It was so much fun. Thank you.
Oh, God. Let me tell you, that's some funky stuff right there. And I know that, I mean, because you have ballads out there, but you also, because the holidays are coming, I noticed that you have some Christmas music out there. And so everybody, I'm just saying, you really have to go to the website. I put it in the chat. It's on the website, but you really have some really great Christmas music. There's a lullaby, Together in Peace, of course. I mean, where did you get your, you know, well, one, you know, we always love the traditional Christmas songs, but I love that.
Well, thank you. You know, I actually have 3 Christmas singles out. Together in Peace is not actually my song. That's a song that I did for somebody else. But you know, it's still a great Christmas song. That's not mine. But I have 3 singles out, which is the one I just released, which is called Celebrate. Mm-hmm. And then last year I released a Christmas single called Christmas Lullaby, which is more traditional in the biblical sense of Christmas. Yeah. And then prior to that, I released All I Want Is You for Christmas, which is more like an R&B ballroom, funky kind of dance feel. And that song was actually featured in a movie called Merry Wishmas that is running, I think, on Tubi now. You can stream it. And it's starring David and Tamela Mann in that movie. So that was a lot of fun as well.
How did you
end up out of Christmas single?
How did you end up, you know, having your voice featured on Dancing with the Stars?
Okay, so you said I got stories. I got stories. So the music director of Dancing with the Stars, Ray Chu, he's incredible, world renowned. Ray Chu was an MD for Anita Baker for a while. Mm-hmm. That's how I met Ray. And then Ray needed someone for season 22 Icons Night to come on and sing Aretha Franklin and sing Whitney Houston. They had so many songs. That was a really, really, really big show. And so I'm just grateful that Ray called me and he trusted me to sing a Whitney Houston song and trusted me to sing Aretha Franklin live on national television. And when I did the Whitney song, the couple got the first perfect 10 of the season. So I'm proud of it.
So I know that you have so much more going on because you are also an author.
I am. I just released a children's book.
Yeah.
It's a shame, but I have it right here. So it's called I Am Beautiful Inside and Out. I love it. It's just the colors in this book are just, it's brightly colored. It's just beautiful. I love it. I'm so proud of it. It's available on my website. Ship it right to you. And this is a book just to talk about self-awareness, self-love, anti-bullying. Mm-hmm. And it's written for younger children so that they're able to identify at a young age when someone's not treating them right, when someone is not talking to them right, when they're being teased, because sometimes kids don't know how to process that. And so this is a simple little story to explain to children when something's not right, you need to go the other way, and you really don't need that person to be your friend. So it's about a caterpillar named Beth who turns into a butterfly and the process that she goes through.
And what made you think of being writing a book, but a children's book in specific? Most people of our age, they will start off with writing maybe their biography or their journey, but you chose a children's book.
I chose a children's book because, first of all, we're all still kids on the inside, no matter how old we get. There's still always this little kid. Always connect with our childhood, and things that happen to us in our childhood affect us in our adulthood. And if we don't identify with that, even as adults, I tell myself, I'm not a spring chicken, I'm a summer chicken. So in my summerhood, in my summerness, if identify with things that possibly bothered me and affected me as a kid, I can't progress
Right.
into my life, into my latter years. So this is a story that would reach adults as well, because I'm sure, and even in our adulthood, sometimes we're not treated right. Somebody's throwing a little shade, and you're like, "Oh, they ain't trying to be," And so it affects everybody. It's good for everybody. But I wanted to reach the children, because the children, there's so much going on right now, and we just in Michigan, we had a shooting at a high school yesterday or 2 days ago. There's so many damaged children. And children don't always know how to express their pain and their hurt. So I just wanted to start really young, really early.
If you had a choice, past or present, one male, one female, who would you have liked to or would like to collaborate with?
Ooh, male Luther, female.
Why did I think you was gonna say because your voice was matched.
Luke, I love the tone of his voice. Now, he's not necessarily my favorite male singer.
Right.
And I really want to pick two.
Okay,
Can I
yeah.
pick two?
Yeah.
So my favorite male singer is Joe, actually.
Oh, yeah. He is talented.
So
he's sexy, too.
Luther was so regular. I love that. And I would love to do a song with him. But Joe, just for the get down and the grit of it would be Joe. Women, I would love to do something with Whitney. Is my favorite singer, ultimately. So Whitney, but the other woman I would love to have worked with, probably done something maybe with Natalie Cole.
Oh, wow. Yes. Yeah.
I like that.
She is classic.
Yeah.
So,
and it's just fun. I just like the energy and the vibe they have on stage, So I like that.
So I was watching an interview that Nicki Minaj had done, and she made this statement that I kind of I get. So she was talking about how today, how do I say this? People or young people today, they are more going with people who are fashionable, because they're trending, because of what's in the media. So you can basically sell anything and not really have the talent. So as long as you're entertaining, you have a lot of fun on the stage, you're trending, you have drama, and it's losing, the music industry and artists, they're really losing what the art is. And so she said, so you see a lot of successful people, and they're very successful and very wealthy and always in the media, but they really aren't artists.
Correct. And they're not talented.
So, and I get that. And that's why, you'll have, I'm sorry, I hate when some people call certain people divas, and I'm like, how are they a diva? But it's they're singing, and then there's people who entertain. What are your thoughts on that?
I did hear the statement that Nicki Minaj made, and I do agree with her. It is a popularity contest. It is not a talent contest. Yeah. And so it depends on, as the artist, what do you choose to participate in, and how much of your time, and how much do you want to participate? Because as an artist, I think even before social media, yes, it was talent, and people were thirsty for talent. Yeah. Now people are thirsty just to be entertained. Yeah. So you could just be standing there blowing bubbles, and if you blow bubbles to the left or to the right, somebody likes it. That's what they like. So now it's a entertainment thing. So I think as artists these days, we have to stay true to ourselves. But at the same time, we do have to work on the popularity. We do have to work on our numbers on social media. We do have to work on building our streams, because that's the game now. And if you want to play, you have to play by what are the rules at this time. So, unfortunately, that's what it is.
And what do you think the whole thing about having the rights and owning your music and owning your name, how important that is? Because obviously I'm not in the entertainment industry, but until the last maybe 5 to 10 years, I hear a lot about that, and I've had different artists on the show that talk about it being your own, and sometimes people would rather not, I'd say, not work directly in the industry or with the label because they don't want to give up their rights to everything. So it's rather go slow, get money slow, get out there slower than quicker. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
I understand that whole process. The music business was different, back in the day where people really didn't put their own music out and they did not have control over their images and their likeness and their music. And these days, because the music business is so different, artists are opting to be independent and to control their own music and their product. And I'm one of those artists. I have my own record label. I control what I put out. I control how it comes out. I hire the producers. I hire, everybody that I need to help me do what I do. I pick that. Mm-hmm. And it's probably it is a slower process for me. There's less money. There's less support that I have. All of my growth and development is very organic because I don't have the big machine of the millions of dollars behind me. But it's okay because I own everything. And if you look at the trends, what are happening, if you own your own music and you take control of it, put it out and put it out with integrity. And you never know how somebody may find your music later and put it in a movie or put it in a program, and you own it. So it's yours. There's a program on television that I'm thinking about. It's based on the Young Boys Incorporated that was in Detroit, Michigan, and spread throughout and it's on Stars. BP and BNP. I'm tearing up the name. But anyway, there's a song that they played in it. That's an old song. You Can't Stop the Rain, and everybody's doing the memes and stuff about it. That song is old. It's been out forever. And then they put it in the show, and then now everybody's streaming the song. And these artists who haven't had anything out, all of a sudden, they're streaming and they're trending now. So that's why it's important to own your music because, somebody can come back and find your music years later. Yeah. Somebody can come back and find my Got Next because Got Next is not playing on the radio. Doesn't mean it's not a good song. Somebody can go back and find Got Next 5 years from now and put it in a movie or something in a song that just take off and blow up. But I own the song, and everybody who worked on the song gets a percentage for what they did. So we'll all be blessed, So that's what you're supposed to do.
And I follow Maya, and that was of real importance that she was like, she left the industry because she wanted her independence. And so I get that. And so, and you talked about starting your own label. So did that mean that also that you look at artists as well as bringing in artists, or just specifically for yourself?
That is something that I'm looking to do in the future, is to actually develop and put other artists out. Right now, I am the only artist on the label, and I'm working out the kinks and I'm learning how to do it because I don't want to put another artist out and I have not figured out what to do. So I'm still learning as I go along. But I have some great people that work with me to help me. My management is incredible. My producers are incredible, and we will figure out the right process to go through, for as an independent artist, and then I'll be able to pass that on to someone else and be able to help them.
So when your inspiration comes to writing songs, where does that come from? Who help? Is it all you? You'll get help, or it's something that you just like with what you're doing with just this one Got Next. I mean I'm gonna get that. I ain't gonna lie to you. So I'm just telling you. But where does your inspiration come from? Are you writing it yourself?
I do write, and almost all of the songs I've written, but I don't write them by myself. So I most of the time write with my producer, or we have a couple other people that we bring in, and we will all write together. I don't think there's a song, if I recall, that I've written entirely by myself. I love to write with other people and love to get their inspiration, and we collaborate. And sometimes I'm inspired by the music. I'll hear the music and I'll be inspired. Or sometimes there's a situation and then I'll go to my producer because he's a great writer and artist as well. and I'll come to him and I'll say, I want to write this. This is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm thinking. And we talk about it and work it out of how to put it in a song.
And what about future endeavors like acting, stuff like that?
Oh, I love acting. I do. Actually, during the pandemic, I was able to do a independent film, and that was a lot of fun. And I'm looking for some more acting opportunities. Some have already presented themselves, and we're trying to work it out when I'll be able to participate in those productions. But yeah, I love acting. That's another thing I love. I love all of it.
So if there's so I know that you have some a few things coming up in 2022, and are you and I know this is I don't know if this is an odd question, but in a sense, like for hire, for like different types of Leon. I had Leon on the show, just Leon, and I didn't even know that he does festivals, and I didn't even know that he had that. I knew he sang, but I didn't know he was that's really his heart and soul, and he does all kinds of festivals and stuff. And is that something that also interests you? Because I've seen you on stage in a few things, but wow, you're really, really good.
Thank you. Yes, I do get booked for different performances. I have some things coming up. The end of this year, I'll be doing a Christmas Eve service here in the Metro Detroit area, and I'm going to be actually singing Christmas Lullaby. I'll be singing that song with the full orchestra, and that's going to be beautiful. I can't wait to do that. And then the first quarter of 2022, Valentine's Day weekend, I'll be opening for Peebo Bryson.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yes. So that's going to be fun. I'm really excited about that.
Wow.
That hasn't been advertised yet, so that's just a little nugget I'm dropping. And there'll be a lot of travel in 2022 for me. So, yes.
Oh my, wow. You know what? Because you mentioned people that I follow, and I still I follow people on Instagram. He don't ever say anything to me, even though you probably think I'm stalking by now.
No,
because I'm always on his page and something like that. But I really like really great artists. I mean, to me, music has to tell a story. And nowadays it really doesn't, to connect with you. So I find myself, connected with different types of artists today that have that kind of storytelling music, I guess you would say. And now I know that we can also purchase your music on your website, and you have a lot of music on your website. You have quite a bit.
Yeah, there's a lot. I'm really grateful that when I initially decided to put music out, I haven't stopped. It's a lot of work, and I love to put out music. I mean, my second album will be out in 2022 as well. We'll be picking the single probably in the next week or two. I'm waiting on my manager to get here, because he lives in another state. And then we'll be meeting and picking the single that we're going to release in 2022, and then the album will come out in 2022. But I'm already, because that album is done, I'm already thinking about the third album. So we actually talked about that yesterday. I'm always thinking about releasing music and what to do next. So I love the process of building the music from the very beginning, from the first note until the completed process.
Well, the whole thing now is people say they'll be doing a live, or maybe like they have like a video or something, and they're playing other people's music, and they have what's called I don't own the right to that music. And I really hear that you're not even supposed to do that doesn't even work. But how do you feel today about when people are duplicating, and like, let's just say I took one of your album and one of your singles, and then I used it on one of my commercials, and I just said, oh, whatever, I don't own the right to this music. Do you think artists should be getting paid every time that someone plays their music, where it is, wherever it's streamlined? Because social media is so vast. Instead, they're just like, I don't think they are, if I'm not mistaken. People just use and say, I don't own the rights to it.
As an independent artist, yes, I do think we should be paid if someone uses the music. And I think artists need to know more about monetizing for their music, so that when it is played online somewhere, there's some kind of sensor that picks up that your music has been played, and so that you can get credit for that. At the same time, I do love when people pick up your music because it brings awareness to your music to other people who may not have ever heard of you. So, I think it's good that people do it. But artists need to have their music set up so that it's monetized so that they'll get compensated for that.
You think it's easier now to get music out there because people are just putting out, to me, just putting out anything. So, of course, I'm in my 50s. And, of course, back then, you had to first, get the music, write the music, get someone to listen to it, get it on the radio, and usually a lot of people say, I gotta get it in the club, because if I can get it in the club, then I can probably get it in the radio. And that whole process, and so and how has that changed? Would you say it's more beneficial or not because people just put out anything, or is it just because it's easier now and it's better?
That question is like, yes, people should be able to create and express themselves and put their project out. But no, because some of it is just, you shouldn't put that out. So it's like, there should be a standard. There should be a bar set that people need to follow, but there's no bar. It's just a free fall. So you just hear everything. So, and then music is subjective. What we think is trash is somebody else's treasure. So it's like,
that makes sense.
Like, you can't win with that one. It's like, it just is what it is.
And so, and I want to make sure that everybody knows who is. I see quite a few people jumping in on the podcast. And if you jump in on the chat, I actually have the website here where you can go and check out the website, and then you can get the music as well as purchase the book. And I think it's $15 on the website if you go, because I was really on the website quite a bit. And so have you ever considered with the book as possibly being a part of educational curriculum?
Yes, and we are working on that. There will be some schools that I will be reading the book to. And this book is a part of a series. This is the first book of a series.
So I'm not sure if you've seen some of and I guess you have a really big fan on there, Teresa, because boy, she's posting. And I know that Stone Paxton, he was usually with the Stones City Band. He loves your music, by the way. He posts up here.
Thanks.
That is so good.
Yeah, Teresa, she works with me. That is, she's my assistant. I love her. Thank you, TT.
And I know this is kind of like, you probably can't do it. I mean, I don't know. I was just like, would you give us just like a little bar or something? I mean, or are you not prepared to where you can give us like a little something, like teaser your voice? I think you have a fabulous voice.
Oh, thank you. Well, you like free, so
Yes, I do. Okay, let me tell you. I have to tell you guys. I just only showed you the video of the new single, I Got Next, because let me tell you what I was trying to do. I was trying to see if I can load it so I can show it, because I just kept listening to it over and over again, and then my son was like, geez, what are you listening to? But it's so that music talks, it talks to you. It's like if whoever, it's not, I guess, necessarily in the writing. It's like acting. If it's not in the eyes, you can either sell the part or you can't. Mm-hmm. So when I listen, it has to really be in your soul. It connects with you. It's like it's just talking to you. I guess I don't know.
Well, that song is straight from the heart, and I did write the majority of that song. So that song is just really very near and dear to my heart.
And maybe that's why.
So, yeah, and I think it connects with a lot of people because the song is actually is telling a story of exactly how I was really feeling. And that was the beginning of me making the decision that I wanted to be a solo artist. So that was me coming out of, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do something different. We're going to do something better. We're going to do something bigger. So that was me really pouring my heart out.
Well, yes. I mean, please. I mean, if you don't have to, if you don't want to.
No, I put the video, that's fine. I can sing it to you. So it goes, every day I look in the mirror looking back at me. I see a girl so full of life. She just wants to be happy. I've been through some things, been through the storm and rain, and I know I just gotta release it. Time can heal the wound, time can heal the pain, but wanna be whole again. I just wanna be free.
Not many people can sing live. So when you were saying how you were like singing on stage with a band and you're going to have an orchestra, that says a lot. It really does.
Oh,
Because
I love singing live. That's my favorite thing is singing live. I love that. I love working with my band. You know, track date is okay, I'll do it. But when I have my band and I can feel the drummer and I can feel my keyboard player and I can feel the bass player, I can feel the guitar player, that feels so good. And I love that. And I'm so excited because when we open for Peebo in February, I will have my band with me. And I will be able to give and do my best and give a really great show. So I'm really excited about that.
So do
And
you
he's such a classic, legendary artist. So I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so excited.
So do you end up having backup singers yourself, coming from being a backup singer?
I've had backup singers, but not right now. My voice is just tracked, in the background. But I don't have them with me right now. Eventually, I will have some singers. Yes.
So, but I mean, to me, it's very inspiring because I don't see a lot of people, I haven't, I'll be honest with you, anymore, to where usually if they're, they just have the music in the background and they don't do the whole live, so you don't really know if it's, unless you're really good, lip syncing, you never really know if it's them. And so that's, to me, I don't watch the awards anymore. I used to love the awards. I mean, I didn't care what it was. But now I don't know. It's not the same.
It's not the same. I get it. It's not the same.
And so, and I don't think it's just because I'm older, because my kids are in their early 30s, and even when they were in their 20s, it just became boring. So, but yeah, and a whole lot of people, on the stage, and so going live is to me, I think people still look for that. They look like it's like theater. You know what I'm saying? It's the same. So that you can do that is really inspiring. Not many people do that anymore. But I do want to ask one last question because I'm not a singer. I was trying to sing that part. I got a spell on you. I can't get it that. But anyway, but no, you have got to have the lungs for that song because
it's not easy. None of them are easy to sing, but I love singing so much. I find the air from somewhere. I just grab the air and sing. So yeah.
So at some point in time, and I don't know if this is because of age, where some amazing singers, at some point in time in age, you start losing your voice or it just starts to change. And so, and even today, I watch PBS a lot because I get to really see some talented people on PBS. So I watch PBS because I like the singers that are on there. I like, a lot of good, I say good music, but anyway, but I noticed because I'll still know all the words from then till today, but the voice always changes, and I don't know if that's normal, and you just have to keep like an art, like actors, you're always going to acting school or learning something. When it comes to singing, if you're always having to rehearse and practice and have a vocalist all the time, how important is that?
Because what you may not notice is you said you don't sing. Your vocals, that's a muscle. So just like you get older and your muscles get weak, it's the same thing. If you don't exercise that muscle, if you don't practice, you don't rehearse, it makes it harder to sing as you get ready. As you get older. But also, it's a muscle, and that muscle can become weak. And so, you really have to rehearse. You have to exercise. You have to stay hydrated. It's a whole process. This thing in here, even though it's little, it's a lot of work.
So I see that Teresa had put, I guess people can get tickets.
Yeah, the tickets are on sale now. We have not, the advertisement for it has not officially gone out. But, I was doing an interview with you today, so I'm able to talk about it. And but the tickets are on sale. So those that are in the metropolitan Detroit area, or if somebody wants to come in, the tickets are on sale. You can purchase them now.
And that is going to Ticketmaster.com, everybody. It's December 12th, and at the I don't know how to say this.
Andiamo showroom.
Andiamo showroom. So for those who are listening on the podcast, or if you actually go to the website and watch the interview, you will see all the information on the platform so that you can go in, as well as you can connect with Beth and go to her website and get the books. You can, if you have Spotify, her music is on Spotify. If you're not sure where to find it, she'll tell before she goes. But the website link will be there, and then you can also check out the music and check out a few of the videos that are really, really lovely. I really liked it, but that song is funky. I just can't get it out. I can't get out my tongue. I'm sorry. Even though Drew, I've been asking you questions, I'm not gonna lie. It's still in my head. So
okay. I'm glad that you like it and you feel a connection to it. Thank you so much.
So I really want to thank you, of course, for being a guest on the show, and I just thank your managers because let me tell you, this was a good one.
I have a great, Ron. I think you were in connect with Ron. Ron actually, I joke with him. I tell him he's a publicist, but he is the best. He handles my marketing, and I appreciate him so much. I know he's probably watching. So thank you, Ron, for everything that you do. My management is Benjamin Entertainment Group. We have Teresa, who is online. Teresa works directly. We call her TT. She works directly with me. I have an amazing, amazing group of people. I'm so blessed that they work with me. They help me. They cover me. They protect me. They love me. They push me. I appreciate them. And all that I am on this very day is because I have great people that surround me. I keep my circle very small, and those people cover me and help me. So I love them, and I'm grateful for everything that they do.
Well, I know that you are going to be extraordinary, exploding. So when I see you winning a Grammy, then I'm going to be like, get everybody to my interview and say, I had on my show. So
I received that. I appreciate that. And actually this year, I did a collaborative project, and it was nominated for a Grammy. And I'm so excited about that. So the next step is to win the Grammy. So I received that out of
We're claiming it, everybody. We're claiming it.
Yes.
So thank you again for being on the show, for everybody for listening who is tuned in. I appreciate you. I forgot to say this to all of my, really faithful followers, because you have made this show grow so much. I don't know. I've only had this podcast. It'll be a year in 8 months or 9 months. And I'm just so excited that my downloads have averaged per month. I think it's about 230 to 250 downloads. So that's, so that means they like my guests. So that means, publicists, you are doing an amazing job at getting me the best guest, because it is the best. I mean, that I to get that many downloads in not even 2 years, and people are downloading my guests. So again, everybody, thanks for tuning in and watching, and make sure that you jump in on the website. The full interview will be there. You will also be able to get connected with Beth, but before she goes, I want to make sure that you hear where you can get her website, get tickets, connect with her, Instagram, everything, her YouTube, all of that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. And I look forward to coming on your show again.
I hope so.
I'd love to come back. Thank you.
And BethAlwaysSings.com. I love that, by the way. So.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what? Anita Baker gave me that name.
Really?
Yeah, she would just say, Beth always sings. You always singing. You always singing. And I was like, And so that became my website address.
So for next Thursday, everybody, go to the website, EntrepreneurLifeShow.com. Check out my next guest. And the calendar is going to be filling up to January. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you jump in and connect with all my past and present guests. And until next Thursday, bye, everybody.
Thank you.